Hey, what's up, guys? It's Evan in the office at Waybacks today. It's Wednesday, September 11th. Never forget. I know I remember where I was when the towers fell. That was hard to understand for I was in freshman year of high school, but it's a horrible day for America, horrible day for the world. There's no sense in all of that. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that. We're actually here to talk about the weekly game video this week. Comes to you at the request of one of our top fans, Mr. Aaron Ladner, who just had a birthday last Thursday. So happy birthday, Aaron. Hope you got to enjoy it with your family and had a good day. Right now, I'm kind of keeping an eye on the radar here. We actually have a Hurricane Francine, bearing down on us. It's not doing a lot of bearing currently. It's just a little dark outside. We don't have any rain or wind or anything like that as of now. But Louisiana being Louisiana, most people are out of school, out of work. That's all shut down for the day. So what better way to spend it than at Louisiana's largest free play arcade? And so the game that Aaron has requested for this our second weekly game showcase, tutorial history, whatever you want to call it. We're doing this segment now, is actually Operation Wolf. Now, Operation Wolf is a really cool game, and it's one I've been after for a while. Why? Was it because it was my favorite? No, it wasn't my favorite. I actually didn't get to play it a lot, not the arcade version anyway, when I was a kid. It came out in 1988 by Taito. Taito is still around, making pretty good games still. But Operation Wolf was pretty unique. It wasn't the first rail gun type game. Those had been around since the 60s. The mechanical fixed gun games. It wasn't the first groundbreaking game by any means, but it was probably the most significant. So when it came out in '88, it was huge. It was a big phenomenon. It was really capitalizing a lot on the macho '80s, big muscle, lots of bullets genre going on, made popular by Chuck Norris and Schwarzenegger and Stallone and all those guys. Matter of fact, you can't help but think a lot about Chuck Norris when you play Operation Wolf. If you ever watched any of his movies, probably Missing in Action and Invasion USA, and Operation Wolf's a lot like Braddock and Missing in Action, right? So you're one guy going in alone to rescue the POWs from Nam, and it's even down paying homage to him in their own secret way, even to the gun that's on the game, right? So it's like a fixed Uzi. And if you ever watch Chuck Norris movies, you know that he loves his Uzi, and somebody else does too.
The Uzi 9mm.
Anyway, so we're gonna keep an eye on the Hurricane. We're gonna go out there, show you the cabinet, but I lost my train of thought. Why was it one of my favorites, or why was I looking for it? Because it wasn't one of my favorites. It was fun. It's fun. I like it, but it's not one of my favorites. So I've got two brothers. And my oldest brother, he doesn't really play video games, but he would tell me for a long time, when I first started collecting arcades and stuff, and would have cookouts at the house or whatever, that if I ever found Operation Wolf, that he would play that because he loved Operation Wolf. And that was like one of the few games back in the 80s that he'd put quarters in and all that. So it took some doing, but it took a lot of doing. It's probably 4 years after we opened, probably 12, 14 years after I started collecting before I found one that was decent enough to pick up. I had bought one before, and if you've been in Waybacks, you'll actually see that it's here. You just can't play it. So the cabinet was like waterlogged. It's falling apart. You could take it and literally like push it over, and it just collapsed. So, but the boards were still good. So I pulled the boards out. I pulled the gun out, and I hate to let games waste, even when I can't save them when they're just too far gone, not really worth it. So we took all the good parts, and then we cut it down. So we cut the sides off, the front panel, all that good stuff, and it's actually hanging on the wall at Waybacks. It's actually hanging under where the current Operation Wolf that you can play is located. And we'll show you that here in just a second. But that game, my goodness, that was one of the worst pickups that we've ever done. But let's cut to the game, and I'll tell you the story. All right, y'all can see we got a few people in here. That little heathen was just slamming the gun for no reason. But anyway, there's our Operation Wolf. Our original on the wall that I was just telling y'all about. We saved what we could. The rest was all water damage. But here's our currently working Operation Wolf. Such a cool cabinet. And this one was in really excellent shape. If you know anything about this game, the cabinet was made out of really crappy material. So not many survived. So you got your start button right there with your Uzi, a la Chuck Norris. The monitor is actually down there. And it shows up on the mirror. It's a reverse image. It's really cool. And for service principles, I actually installed the trap door down there. I don't know if you can see it, but you can pull the board out right there and work on it. But it's a really cool game. So the goal is you have to shoot X amount of enemies, X amount of helicopters, trucks, whatever, and rescue the hostages. It's one of the first few games with cutscenes and storylines. It was really big. So when it came out in '88, it actually won a lot of awards. It was the second highest selling game in the UK in 1988, beaten only by this game right here, Afterburner. So Afterburner beat it out, but I mean, it's hard to beat Afterburner, man. That's a classic. All right, guys, so we're going to give it a shot. This game isn't the easiest to record on original hardware. There's this massive control panel. You're so far away. But we'll set you up on the tripod and see what we could do. But I forgot to mention the cool thing about this Uzi. So when you pull the trigger, you got a motor that like simulates automatic fire. And then up here, you have a grenade button, because all Uzis came with grenade launchers. So yeah, let's check it out, see what we can do. Alright, so let's start a game. I haven't played this in forever. We'll see how bad I suck at this. Give ourselves a couple credits. How's that? Alright. Gotta rescue the hostages, the POWs, like Braddock. So you start, you got 6 maps, and you'll get a cutscene between each if you pass. You gotta kill 50 enemies, 4 helicopters, and 5 tanks. You can shoot the weapons out of the way. Get a limited number of bullets. There will be nurses and people come through that you don't want to shoot, of course. This game really kind of set the tone for first-person shooters to come in the future. It's actually a really good game for its time. It's pretty amazing. The graphics are great. The sounds are great. You do ammo pickups. You get like the animals, vultures, and pigs and stuff. You can get special pickups or whatever. Your life gauge is the red that's on the right side. If you fill it all the way up, you die. Depending on how you die, there's different cutscenes. This game really introduced a lot of new stuff. Rumor has it, I couldn't confirm it or not, but apparently the creator of this game was the same guy that created Space Invaders. Because of some kind of contract he was in with Taito, he wasn't allowed to use his name and tell him that he made this as well. So, if it is true, man, that dude had a string of hits, huh? Space Invaders and Operation Wolf. Like, Space Invaders pretty much set off the craze of, arcade fever. Alright, so now we gotta get 20 enemies. I think there's like a little bonus stage, maybe? Since it's just static. Kind of reminds me of the Easter egg stages that you find in like Area 51 and newer games. Alright, cleared that scene. Not doing too bad for the first credit. The feedback option on this gun is pretty awesome. Later games like Terminator, Revolution X, they would do the feedback with a solenoid, like a flipper solenoid. This one's an actual little gear motor. And I died. Sustained a lethal injury. Well, we didn't even get any hostages, guys. I'm not the best at this game. It's a super cool game anyway, so. Alright, guys, so that was Operation Wolf. Let me know what y'all think. Again, not my best game, but definitely a cool one. I love that we have it here for everybody to check out. I mean, it was a groundbreaking game. I mean, what more can you say? So, come to Waybacks, check it out. Like and subscribe to the channel. Spread the word. Help us get more people involved. We want Waybacks to be like this awesome community gamer central. That's what we had in mind when we built this place. Is we kind of want to bring back the camaraderie from when we were kids, and you'd go to the arcades and you'd make a buddy, and you'd just have a great time chasing high scores. We need more of that these days. So get the word out. Let everybody know. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to do a weekly update, weekly game. Every game is going to be different. We have over 150 arcades on the floor, so we got quite a lot of material before we run out. And we're adding games all the time. We're working on one last week. It'll be out tomorrow, hopefully. So if y'all want to see some updates on that, be sure to subscribe to the Facebook page, and we'll keep up to date game posts there when we put new stuff out. So catch y'all later.
If you come back in here, I'm going to hit you with so many rights, you're going to beg for a left.